Greetings, I'm Dr. Sean Reed, author of the Dating Toolbox, available on Amazon.com. Alrighty, so today I want to talk about relationship and lifestyle tips for older guys. Okay, watch this video, and this video is going to give a general overview of tips for older guys. And then later on, I'll do follow-up videos that are more specific, break down the more specific topics. But today is just some general overviews. Okay, so the first thing we need to understand is the relationship world has been different for older guys than it is for younger guys. All right? So if you're my age, 62 years old, or even in your 50s, you grew up in a world that was very different than today. Back in the 1980s, it was much easier to meet women. It was much easier to get dates. It was much easier to get a girlfriend. It was much easier to get married. However, the divorce rate peaked in 1980, and it's actually lower today than it was 40 years ago. So basically what we have with modern men is we have men who were at one time probably successful with women. They probably were able to date women. They probably married women. The problem is they are probably also divorced. So where I spend a lot of time just trying to convince young men to start relationships with women, the problem I have with older men is they know that they can start relationships. They just have problems finishing relationships, maintaining healthy relationships. Having said that, a lot of my advice for the older guys is going to be the same as it is for the younger guys. When I say older guys, I generally mean guys 50, 45 and older. Younger guys, when I'm talking about guys in their 20s and 30s, I might push the issue of marriage. But a lot of these older guys have been married, they've been divorced, they've raised families, so they're not looking for marriage. So they're going to be different from younger guys in that respect. However, a lot of the advice is going to be the same. For an older guy, I'm going to advise you still to open lots of women, talk to lots of women, get lots of phone numbers, get lots of dates. If I were 55 years old and single, I would be building a 3-woman rotation, just like I argue for a 25-year-old. So a lot of the advice is going to be the same. If you're 55 years old, you want to build that 3-woman rotation. And yes, you want to be dating and having sex with 3 women a week. You might end up getting that golden year with a special woman. However, you're probably not going to want to marry her like you would if you were 30 or 35 years old. So again, some of the stuff is different. Some of the stuff is the same. However, different issues arise for us older guys. If I was a 55-year-old guy and I was managing a 3-woman rotation, when I was managing a 3-woman rotation, I was having sex with each of these women at least 3 times a week. So I was having sex 10 times a week. I was in my early 40s. Erectile issues weren't a deal for me back then, but now I'm 62. So for the older guys, to manage a 3-woman rotation, you're probably going to need some help in the bedroom. And that's an area where I have a great deal of expertise. Okay, so the first thing I'm a PhD, I'm not an MD, so the advice you give me is purely theoretical. I do not give medical advice. I just tell you stuff that's going to work. Okay, so when I get guys in their 50s, when I get guys who are older and they have erectile issues, the first thing I'm going to ask them is, what is your testosterone production? Okay, a lot of guys need to go on HRT. Now, there's a great deal of confusion here. So many people think that HRT is steroids, right? It's steroids. It's not the same as steroids. All HRT, all hormone replacement, all testosterone replacement, all it does is it gets your levels in the high normal range. So let me give you an example. For my age, 62, average testosterone is between 400 and 720. So what I do is I keep my testosterone in the 600 levels. I keep it in the high normal levels. Actually, by doing so, you will be healthier. By keeping your hormones all properly adjusted, you will live longer. You'll live a healthier, more vigorous life. So you'll be able to perform in the bedroom. You'll be able to perform in the gym. Again, fitness is a huge part of my program. I argue that young guys need to be at the gym, old guys need to be at the gym. Just as a point of reference, this was me at the age of 56. So I had a guy post on one of my videos, what does this guy know about fitness? This was me at the age of 56. I'm 62 now, excuse me. I'm not in that good condition. I was training 3 hours a day there, but I'm still in pretty darn good shape for a 62-year-old. I'm in about as good a shape as you can be at my age without doing things that harm your health. I do my videos with my shirt on because there's no need for me to be doing videos naked. No one wants to see that. But I know a lot about fitness for older guys. The training changes as we get older. The need for recovery becomes more important as we get older. We need to change some of the exercises that you may not. I don't do heavy squats anymore. I do a modified version of a deadlift, but with much lighter weight and higher reps. And so I have a lot of great fitness and training advice for the older guys. So you can be 55 and still very vigorous, still very active. You can still perform, excuse my language, since I'm talking to older guys, you can still fuck like a much younger guy if you know what to do. There's an option for you. So we look at your hormone levels. If that doesn't fix things, which it did for me, we can then put you on a PED5 inhibitor. If that doesn't fix things, there's this crazy stuff called Trimix where you can fuck for 2 hours. So you can be 70 years old and still active in the bedroom. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about for the older guys is age. Age in the dating pool. Very important. Okay. So as we get, there are problems and advantages to being older. Okay. As we get older, the number of single women, the ratio greatly increases in our favor. Men die much younger than women. And so as we get older, you get to a certain age, there are 2 single women for every single guy. Okay. That's an advantage. Also, as we get older, we can date younger women. I always advocate dating younger women. So if you're 55, the general rule I like to throw out there is half plus 7. So that means you can date women as young. I would say as young as about 36, 37. My wife is 15 years younger than me. I found that if you go more than 17 years younger, you start to run into problems, but you can date much younger women. So there are many advantages to being older. The dating pool is larger. There is a disadvantage, however. As we get older, a lot of the really high quality women are snatched up and married. So the dating pool is much larger, but the quality of the women is lower. So where I would argue that, women in their 20s, of only about 1 in 4 is long-term relationship material. As we get older, that number changes. Probably the rate, I'm guesstimating here. I don't have an exact study, but I would say as we get older, only about 1 in 6 women is relationship material. However, my system is perfectly designed to resolve that issue. That's why even if we're older, if I'm 55 and single, I'm still talking to lots of women. I'm still getting lots of phone numbers. I'm still dating lots of women. I'm still building a 3-woman rotation. If you do all these things, you still have a very, very good chance of dating high quality women. Okay. And again, a lot of times you'll meet that one really high quality woman that you'll end up having a relationship with. I always teach guys to go for the golden year. The difference is if you're much older, you may not want to get married at that point. And so at that point, and the ball is in your court. Okay. So there are advantages for older guys, but there are also disadvantages. And I'm going to start doing a lot of specific videos on that. I never looked at my analytics, but 55% of my viewers are over 45 and 80% are over 35. Okay. I did not know that. Again, a lot of my videos were designed. I've been targeting a lot of younger guys lately because I've got so many guys. I manage a lot of forums. I moderate a combat forums. I moderate a wrestling forum. And I get a lot of guys in their 20s and 30s who've just given up altogether. So I've been targeting a lot of my younger audience, But trust me, guys, I have lots of great material for older guys. I became divorced at age 35. I developed my system between the age of 35 and 44 when I got married, and I've been managing a relationship successfully for 18 years. So I've got a lot of great advice for older guys. I also know that there's some older guys that are in relationships that want to improve the quality of those relationships, and I'm going to do videos on that as well. Okay, so I don't want to run too long here today, but what I want to tell you is that I've got a lot of stuff for the older guys. I'm going to start doing more videos on that. It's an area of great passion of mine. The reason I don't look at my analytics is because I kind of go, I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about monetization. Here's what I care about. I care about getting men more successful with women. We live in a culture where really the odds have become stacked against men. So I'm here to help men, and whether they're young men or old men, I'm all about helping them become more successful with women, getting women to love you and getting women to stay and love you. So if you like what you heard, if you like what you saw today, please hit the like and subscribe button. Please, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I'm here to help you, and happy dating.